Well, let's talk about President Obama and some poll numbers, as long as we're talking about Ukraine, because he's getting hit basically on both sides. People saying he's not doing enough, he's doing too much. So a new CNN ORC International poll came out about Obama's numbers. 57% believe leaders of other countries no longer respect Obama. 50% see Obama as a strong and decisive leader. 50% do not. There's also a roughly 50-50 split on whether Obama inspires confidence. 53% say he's tough enough to handle a crisis, and 77% say he's likable. Let's start with the likable part, because that is, right? Like, that's the thing. This guy, this was a cult of personality that we all voted for. I voted for him twice. Hope and change. We all still like him sort of more than the policies. Is that fair to say?
That number's high, though, isn't it? That's a high.
That's really high.
Really
77%.
Yeah.
We'd all take that. I'd take that in my own family.
No, I think he's still incredibly likable. You know, he's opened the White House up to be an accessible place, and that family seems to be one that everybody really loves and respects. You know, it's the other numbers that I think
are pushing vegetables on us.
That's true, except for the vegetables and the bike helmets and mom jeans. It's a pretty normal American family. But you know, it's the rest of the numbers that I think are problematic for the president.
I mean, look at. I think, and I say this a lot, when you look at the numbers about what people think about him as a person, as a leader, I think it really boils down to the fact that they just hate him. They've hated him since before he was inaugurated the first time.
Yeah.
And so, to me, those numbers don't really mean anything because, for one, every president's numbers do this over the course of their presidency. But I mean, for him, he's had such a tougher mountain to climb when you face opposition before you even swear into office. So how do you measure the effectiveness of a man who's constantly being blocked? Like, how do I know what works and what doesn't if I've never seen anything through? Really, I mean.
So the important number isn't the 77%, the likable number, but it's the other percent, which is the hate number is so big that
do you think
it clouds a lot
roughly, do you think it's about 23% that just hate him no matter what? Or it's probably, you think that's, I think that's probably the bare minimum.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that's a given. And then you look at the fact that they obstruct him for the simple fact of obstructing him. And so it's hard for me to judge him as a leader when I haven't really seen him lead. I mean, at least when Bush was president, the Democrats would, okay, you want to do this? We don't like it, but we'll see it through. We'll see it through.
Well, there's some game. We're gonna play along a little bit.
Let's play along a little bit for the sake of not shutting down the government. And so I can't really say with 100% certainty how I feel about his leadership or his decisiveness. For one, who the fuck are we to talk about the decisiveness of the president of the United States?
Who the hell are we?
Do you know how hard that job is? Like, who are you sitting on your couch like, yeah, man, that Obama guy, no matter, even if it's a Republican, like, you don't know how hard it is to be president, no matter what party you're in.
He doesn't get a chance to give you a poll number and how you do your job.
Exactly. I give the way you made those fries 33%. I mean, I've had better fries in other times, but I don't really. I
mean, I do know that Obama's a big fan of the show and has clicked like many times on a lot of our videos.
Well, so that's you're the likable.
Somebody on YouTube named Barack Obama, it's just spelled slightly differently. Do you think, so to that point, do you think he gives a flying fuck about numbers at this point, especially because he's almost entering lame duck status if he's not already there? I just saw this morning that already they're planning this move to Hillary already with some of his people, and Biden's already pissed about that. So do you think he cares? He looks at these numbers, he's like, I got 2.5 years left or whatever it is, and I'm gonna do what the hell I want.
I think he sees that 77% number and he's happy about that. But I think I mean, how could you not care when you get numbers coming out all the time that says you're, you know, ineffective or you're wimpy or you wear mom jeans or whatever it is that the 23% level against all the time? Yeah, you gotta.
And you can't punch anyone.
No,
like,
you have to.
You have to take it. Like, they're calling you out and you have to sit there and take it.
You don't think he just like bitch slaps Biden every now and again? Just something?
I hope so.
I hope he has a punching bag or something in the office.
To me, that number that's interesting is that 57% number that we talked about, which was they were saying, what was it? 57% of Americans believe that other leaders find him wimpy or weak or what it is. That number is crazy. How do you even determine that number? How does CNN even find that number?
How is it not 100? Like, because they're the leaders of course they're gonna think that the other leader is weak or a wimp. Like, no one's gonna come out and go, man, that Obama, he's so strong and so confident. I wouldn't want that guy to try to
tussle with him.
Yeah, I would never want to fight that guy. I mean, we love you, Obama.
But shouldn't they take the poll against other world leaders instead of what just middle Americans think the president of Uganda
poll the leaders.
Yeah, poll the
you
leaders.
want Merkel to
That's
take a poll.
That's an interesting number.
Ask
What's not an interesting number is somebody in Minnesota saying like, oh, I bet like the president of Uganda thinks he's not very strong. Like, it's like who cares what that guy thinks?
So
they don't even know who these presidents are.
Right. So isn't this one of these things that goes back to the Ukraine thing where it's like he's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't, because you can do more and then they'll respect him more, but then we'll be in a war. So it's like, how do you pick? Do I want to be in a war I don't want to be in, or do I want to be liked?
Right. Yeah. And that's a tough choice.
I think the number would be interesting if it just said 57 Americans can name another world leader. And then we would say like, oh, that's probably...
That would be the real number to move on. Okay.